Alright, here we are now with the third part of this tutorial where we're going to do a little bit more advanced editing stuff. We're going to throw in some transitions, some text, and maybe some graphic overlays, and just play around with the effects controls a little bit so you can see how that works. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just get rid of this clip that we were using before. Alright. Okay, so now we just have this one clip here. We've gotten rid of everything else. And we're going to go over to the project and just grab the 332 video clip, drag that on here. We're just going to take the first piece of it. We don't need the whole thing, so we're just going to use the razor blade. And then select the piece we don't want, delete it, and then we're going to take this and we're going to do ripple delete. Remember, that's the right click and ripple delete. And then you're going to come over to the project, and up on the menu you can either drop down and select effects, or you can scroll across the bar to get there, whatever you like. Go down to video transitions, I'm going to hit dissolve, choose film dissolve, and drop that on there. And you can see that it does a little dissolve. And so you can control the playback here by hitting the play, or you can even just hit the space bar on your keyboard to play, to start and stop. So there you can see, that's basically how they work. If you want to make the dissolve longer, you can just very delicately grab the edge of this thing because it's kind of small, but then you can just drag it and it makes the duration of that go longer. So what it's actually doing is it's overlapping this clip here with the portion of this clip that continues on. So if this was the end of the last piece of this clip of video, you would have to do it in a slightly different way. Let me show you how to do that. So I selected the transition, hit delete to get rid of it. So now we're going to just checkerboard this by doing like this. And now we're going to put the film dissolve on here, and we'll just adjust it so that our cursor is right at the edge. Try to get to snap. It can be a little tricky doing this sometimes. There we go. And then we'll put another film dissolve on this, and now this will be like a cross dissolve. And so sometimes this looks better. I usually like to do that because it's a little bit of a smoother or quicker cut between the two. But you can do that with pretty much any of the transitions here. So you can play around with different stuff like wipes, irises, different stuff there, depending on what you want to do. And so now we want to put some text on here. And so we'll find the spot where the first frame where that red bar comes out. That's where we want our text to start. Alright, that's good. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to click the T, and you just drag a box. Click and drag for where your text, where you want the text to be, and then you'll have to wait a few seconds while it generates the element for it. But you'll see this thing right here, this pink bar, the pink stuff. Anytime you see a pink bar is usually going to be some sort of graphics overlay. Okay, so now you can type pretty much whatever you want. So let's just call this demo text. Alright, and so as you see here, it is white. We don't like that. We want this to be dark because our background is white. So I just select all the text, and now we're going to go up to this big old panel up here. You see Effect Controls, click on that, and now you should go, you should see all these different things here. We're going to get into those later, but just go to the text, demo text, click on the little caret to open that up, and now we can go down to the appearance where it says fill, click on that, and we can choose any other color we want. Make it black, and then it'll have a font. You can change the font if you like here. Let's make this bold just because it looks nicer. Let's make it bigger. So you can either select this and type the size you might want, or you can use the slider to just find one that looks nice. You can also set the like the justification here, whether you want it center, right, or left. And so I think that looks good. We do want to move it around, so the easiest way to move it around is just to go to the selection, grab that, and then just click and drag on the text. You can also move it around by going scrolling down on this thing, and you'll see these transform things here, and you can change the position. This is your vertical position here, horizontal position here, so you can do that there. So if you know, like if you've done a few of these and you know exactly what position you like to have the text, then you can just punch those in there. So as you can see, our text box is too big for what we've got going on here, so let's go ahead and trim that down. All right, so now we've got that. We need some transitions on that, so let's go over to the effects panel, throw some dissolves on there. All right, and then let's do a little dissolve at the end of the intro, and we'll just have this in the background that it's going to dissolve into. Yeah, the only other thing I want to just show the panel for the effects, if you select the video clip that we have in here after our intro and go up to the effects controls, you should see a whole bunch of different stuff up here as far as motion and position and scale up at the top. These are fun to play with sometimes. You can create your own transitions. That's a little more advanced. Maybe I'll do another tutorial on how to do that stuff later. The thing that I find really useful though is the scale. So if you click this uniform scale checkbox, now you can do it both, scale height or width. This comes in handy with using, with doing like graphics for different, boxes and stuff that you're going to put up on screen. You might need to make it a little bit bigger in one way or the other. We're going to click that again just to lock the uniform scale. So now we scale the entire piece one so that it keeps the aspect ratio the same. So what we're going to do here is if we zoom in by clicking and holding with your mouse and then moving to the right, you can recrop and then clicking here and dragging left or right to move up or down, and then here to move side to side. And now we can make this zoom out a little bit maybe. So if you go more than about 250%, then the video starts to break down because you've zoomed in too far and the pixels have just gotten too big. But anything less than that, I think, is pretty much fair game. And it actually helps to make your videos a little bit more dynamic, helps you cover up some of the cuts where you're having to cut between people's uhs and ahs and stuff like that. So that's a really, really helpful tool, is to be able to zoom in on the shot. So that'll do it for this this installment. Up next, we're going to talk a little bit about sound.